HP just launched its 2025 Omen series laptop powered by AMD's all-new AI-enabled Ryzen 7 and paired with RTX 5050, and honestly, I'm not sure I like it this year. The Omen lineup has been one of my favorites, known for solid build quality, strong performance, thoughtful features, and reliable thermals. But this year's model feels off. Sure, it got a facelift, rounded edges, sleeker design, new shortcuts, but the build quality has taken a hit, and the price to performance ratio probably the worst I've ever seen on an Omen yet. That said, it's not all bad. There are still some redeeming features. So let's break it all down. Design, specifications, performance, thermals, and value, and see if this 2025 Omen is actually worth buying. To make things easier, I've divided this video into clear sections. If you're looking for something specific, whether it's the display, performance, battery, or build, just follow the timestamps below and jump straight to the part you care about. First, let's quickly run through the specifications so you know what exactly you're dealing with. The laptop packs AMD's all-new AI-enabled Ryzen 7 350 CPU. It's got 8 cores and 16 threads and a built-in NPU delivering up to 50 TOPS of AI performance. Graphics are handled by the RTX 5050 of 8GB GDDR6 VRAM and a maximum TDP of 115 watts. You also get 24GB of DDR5 RAM clocked at 5600 MHz and a blazing fast 1TB of Gen 4 NVMe SSD. Later in this video, I'll be comparing AMD's Ryzen 7 350 with Ultra 7 series and Core i7-14700HX, breaking down the differences in architecture, core counts, and real-world benchmark scores. And for GPU side, we'll pit the RTX 5050 against the RTX 4050 and RTX 4060. We'll look at the raw specs and efficiency to see where Nvidia's latest mid-range chip actually lands. So stick around because the numbers get real interesting. Design-wise, it still echoes last year's model, but HP has rounded off the edges, ditching the sharp, angular look. Even the keyboard deck allows for softer design language. Whether that's better or worse is subjective, but that's definitely a shift. It comes in a shadow black color with a minimalist, sleek body weighing just 2.44 kgs. The overall aesthetic is clean and understated, perfectly suited for formal settings. HP's added a new shortcut, Function plus P, to toggle performance profiles. That's a first for the HP lineup. The keyboard is full-sized, 4-zone RGB lit, and includes a numpad. The key travel is decent, making typing smooth. The trackpad is fully clickable, well-sized, and feels fluid to use. The power button is embedded in the function row, easy to miss at a first glance, but still there. Bezels are thin on the sides but noticeably thicker on the top and bottom. Now, here's the interesting part. The hinge design looks like it should allow the screen to fold back to 180 degrees, but it doesn't. That's a missed opportunity, especially since the hinge is well balanced, enough for one-handed opening, hinting at good weight distribution. Ventilation has slightly been redesigned. The rear and the side vents look similar, but the bottom row features a large air intake with thick rubber grips that lift the laptop, giving ample clearance for airflow. But not everything is an upgrade. The build is entirely plastic, and it feels it. After 2 years of improvement, the legendary screen wobble of HP is back, especially noticeable during typing or while adjusting the lid. There's significant keyboard flex, top lid flex, and even touchpad sinks slightly when pressed, just like this. See? And the laptop for this price range, that's hard to justify. The screen, surprisingly solid. You're getting a 2K panel 2560 by 1600 resolution with anti-glare IPS display. Refresh rate clocks at 165Hz and a 3 millisecond response time, good enough for competitive gaming, smooth enough for everyday use. It covers 100% sRGB color space and has 1000 by 1 contrast ratio and hits 400 nits of brightness. That's good enough for creators working in controlled lighting. And yes, it supports AMD FreeSync, so you get tier-free gaming without premium tax of G-Sync. Overall, it has a good screen with all premium features justifying the price. However, the port situation, honestly pretty average for this price. You get 3 USB Type-A ports and just 1 USB Type-C port. That's it. On the back, 1 power pin, 1 RJ Ethernet port, 1 HDMI 2.1 port, and 1 USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 2 port. On the left side, 1 USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 port, 1 USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port that supports 4K 60Hz display output and 100W PD charging, plus an audio mic combo jack. Right side, just 1 USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 port, and that's all. Now, the positives, ports on the back side are great for cable management, and giving 3 USB Type-A ports is still pretty good. But the negatives hit harder. No Thunderbolt 4 port, only one USB Type-C port, and no always-on USB charging. For this price, that's a letdown. It's got a solid bundle of features. There's a mux switch for direct GPU access, though there is no advanced Optimus, so switching still needs a reboot. You get a 1080p Full HD webcam with privacy shutter, handy for calls, and even handier for peace of mind. Microsoft Office 2024 comes pre-activated for life, no subscriptions, no setup headaches. Powering it all is an 83 watt battery paired with a 230 watt charger that can hit 50% in just 30 minutes. But battery life is average, about 3.5 to 4 hours under control settings and barely an hour while gaming. Connectivity is modern, Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 are both on board. As for audio, it's got downfiring speakers with HyperSense sound system, but honestly, they're not very loud, lack bass, and sound a bit muffled. Definitely not a highlight. Now, for the performance prowess, I ran some benchmarks on this machine, and here are the results for Cinebench R23, Geekbench, Cinebench R24, and 3D Mark Time Spy. These cores make it well suited for 4K level editing due to its great CPU and GPU, creative workloads like photo processing and rendering, as it's got a great CPU and a good screen, 2K gaming with stable frame rates, streaming and multitasking, coding and beginner level machine learning, or even 3D modeling, as it does have an 8GB of VRAM. Now, to answer the big question, can Intel's Ultra 7 265H or i7-14700HX compete with AMD's Ryzen AI 7350? Let's break it down. Talking about the core architecture, Ryzen AI 7350 has 8 cores and all performance cores. However, Ultra 7 265H has 16 cores, but only 6 of them are performance cores, while i7-14700HX has 20 cores, of which 8 are performance cores and additional 12 efficiency cores. So while Ultra 7 has more cores on paper, Ryzen's all performance core setup gives an edge in sustained workloads. The i7-14700HX though is in a different league with hybrid 20 core layout. Coming to clock speeds, Ryzen 7 is up to 5 GHz, Ultra 7 reaches to 5.3 GHz, and i7-14700HX reaches to 5.5 GHz. Intel clearly leads in raw frequency, especially with the HX chip. Power efficiency of Ryzen ranges between 28 to 54 watts, while Ultra 7 is between 20 to 28 watts, but i7-14700HX has 45 to 55 watts. Ryzen strikes a balance, more efficient than HX but lighter headroom than Ultra 7. That means it can push harder when needed without being as power hungry as Intel's HX chip. Coming back to the benchmarks and comparing them with Ultra 7 265H and i7-14700HX, 14700HX is the clear winner in raw performance, especially in multi-core tasks. Ultra 7 and Ryzen 7 trade blows depending on the workload, but Ryzen's efficiency and AI capabilities give it a unique edge in modern workflows. Now, how does the new 5050 stack up against the familiar RTX 4050 or 4060? Let's break it down. The RTX 4050 comes with around 2560 CUDA cores and a boost clock of roughly 2370 MHz and 6GB of VRAM. The 4060 bumps that up to 3072 cores, 2460 MHz and 8GB of VRAM. And the RTX 5050, well, same core count as the 4050 but higher clock speeds, 8GB of VRAM and a massive 320 GB per second memory bandwidth. That's thanks to its newer Blackwell architecture, while 4050 and 4060 still run on Ada Lovelace. AI and compute performance. On Geekbench OpenCL, RTX 4050 scores 82,000, while RTX 4060 hits 1,06,000 and 5050 lands at 92,000. The RTX 4060 is still a performance game, but the RTX 5050 offers new architecture, better memory bandwidth, especially for its price. So if you're looking for the best bang for buck, the 5050 edges out 4060 by around 8% in price to performance. Regrettably, I could not complete the testing of this unit due to the lack of time I had with this laptop, but if and when I get my hands on it again, I will post a dedicated video on its game tests, so here's hoping. At the time of making this video, this laptop was priced at around 1,40,000 online, but is available at a much better deal at Premier Laptops exclusive Oman Playground store in Ludhiana, to whom I am thankful for giving me the opportunity to review this laptop. They have a very knowledgeable staff that can guide you towards buying the right laptop for you and give you a hands-on experience before you can buy the laptop. Do check them out before buying, contact details in the description. This laptop has a fair bit competition, though not all brands have 50 series lineup, some of which include Alienware with a bit lower Core 7 CPU and RTX 5050, Lenovo Lock with lower Ryzen 7 250 and RTX 5050 for much lower price of 95k but a full HD screen. HP Omen's own Intel variant with i7 14650HX, not much behind than RTX 14700 that we compared with, and RTX 5050 with a lower price tag. MSI Katana's same i7 14650HX and RTX 5050 but considerably low price. Lenovo Lock with i7 13th Gen 13650, which should perform in lines with Ryzen AI 7350 and RTX 4060, which has its own benefits. But I have to say that HP Omen's own last gen laptop with i7 14700HX and RTX 4060 that I reviewed comes at about same price and even cheaper in some cases and areas, and it will outperform this unit for a much lower price. And even if you match the performance, you can get the same with Victus at much lower price. Or better yet, get this Omen with same performing CPU and RTX 4070 and still get it at a much lower price. So here's where I'm stuck with this laptop. On paper, it's exciting. A brand new CPU, a brand new GPU, but when you look at the benchmarks, the numbers just don't match the price tag. These cores, you can hit them with an older gen machines at a much less cost. And then there's the build. Frankly, it's awful, with a real risk of parts flexing, wobbling, or even failing over time. Sure, it's got some nice extras and genuinely great screen, but when you weigh everything up, I just can't shake the feeling that you're better off picking up a well-priced last-gen model than spending big on this one. If you liked the review, please like the video, dislike if you didn't, tell me about it in the comment section, and consider subscribing for more videos like this.